After all that you have been through, and all that you have done, all that you have become, the Aetheran lies in front of you. Divinity is yours to take, or to sacrifice. What you do next decides your own fate, and the future of the world. What shall you do with Divinity?
And so it ended. A tale that began with my own ill-fated attempt to rid the world of the Godwalker. A new divine rose, a true heir to the Seven, more powerful than ever, and united Rivellon in its battle against the Void. All across the realm, he was loved, worshipped, and adored. Humans, lizards, elves, and dwarves all rallied to his banner. The great allegiance stood once more, but the war continued. From the depths of the Void, the God King still sought to return. As for me, I was freed of the God King's terrible tyranny. I avoided an eternity of pain and suffering. Now I fight for the other side. Now, I fight for the divine.
Well, well. Look what the cat dragged in. A god, no less. And divinity suits you. Though I know of one it might have suited even better.
Malady stands tall and proud, sunlight sparkling off her mask. From here she looks almost angelic.
Well, here we are again. You, me, and the ship I've saved from ruin for your personal benefit. I'd say you owe me, but why state the obvious? Get an eyeful, Your Holiness. I expect it's the last we'll see of each other for some time.
She turns to you, arms crossed, and grins.
Look at you. Magnificent. Don't I know it? Let's hope it pays off.
She fingers the mask covering her face. For a moment, it seems as though she's about to remove it, but instead, she places a hand on your shoulder.
We've come a long way together. I did my best by you all the way. I sacrificed much. But I'd give even more to see you become exactly what you've become. Soon, I'd like to have a little chat about something you can do for me. But I believe that can wait. Relax, enjoy. I certainly plan to do the same. Oh, I don't know, around and about. Treat myself to some mead, a level 300. I'd say we've earned it. And when the time comes, I'll come find you, Your Holiness.
You escaped an abominable prison and confront... Not that your story is finished, of course. Now that once I've come to a conclusion, I promise, as a matter of source, makes for an excellent ally in matters of a demonic nature. Not only can void seep through the veil, but the beasts of Nemesis might similarly slip out of their own plane. Whether you are clever enough of a divine to keep Damien's disciples confined to Nemesis, I can't say. But I think we'll know soon enough. And until we meet again...
Beast Spirit smiles as you approach.
Here the wild beast just sails on the ocean. He's docked in the bay and coming your way. Off on the yawn, you hear the commotion. He's docked in the bay and coming your way. Your cupboard can't hide you, nor can your berth. His daggers don't care about the gold that you're worth. He'll bury your bones neath a mountain of earth.
He pauses.
I've never been fond of what the Divine stands for, but I must say, it's rather exciting to say I've been up close and personal with one. Reform my ways. How adorable. No, I'm afraid I cannot escape who I...
Her eyes flick down to your mouth. She smiles coyly, then slinks forward to kiss you. Almira pouts in disappointment, but it quickly morphs into a devilish grin.
Oh, no matter. We'll always have our first kiss. I haven't been quite able to put it out of my mind. Just as I'm sure you won't be able to put me out of your mind. Who knows? A nice cottage someplace quiet for Mahalia and I. A roaring fire and a feather bed. But a girl needs some fun, doesn't she?
You're the new Divine. That's so cool. Neat. I'll be counting on... There's also the matter of my payment for all the stuff I've done.
He taps his fingers and mouths.
1,300,000 dozen and 50 teen gold pieces. Now pay up. It is so. But if you can't pay me in money, then I'll just have to insist you keep me on until you can. So, what position can you offer?
Han ponders your suggestion.
You got it. But you better believe the bill for that.
Oh my, you! Look who it is! Our brand new Lord and Saviour.
She curtsies low and looks up at you with a grin.
So, what's your first order of business? End world hunger? Instigate world peace? Send all spiders back to hell where they belong? big job. I'd offer to help, but I've got some business of my own to attend to. Ding, ding, ding! My loot calluses are all but worn off. I'm a disgrace. So, Chief, I guess this is it, right?
Her face softens.
You know, I won't forget you either. Not ever. It's not every day you fall in love with a future god, after all. You'll ace it. I'm sure of that.
As she turns from you, the whites of her eyes darken, the veins in her face go grey, and a wicked smile curls her mouth. Suddenly, it's gone again. She winks, and you're left wondering whether you saw anything at all.
See you around.
There you are. I was hoping you'd come find us again. I've never known a god before they became divine. I was curious if it would have changed you.
She gives you a long, assessing look, but makes no immediate comment. She paces around you like a cat, looking you over.
Well, you certainly look the same. But there's something in the air around you. It vibrates ever so slightly. Don't you feel it? Maybe you should give it a bit of time. I imagine it takes almighty power a little while to settle in. I'll serve my people as best I can. I'm theirs now, and they are mine. Let's do good. You by yours, me by mine. Together. Though.
Amazing I'm still here. Well, that relationship always was complicated. You're so much like him. My instincts tell me to kneel to the new divine. I've done so before, after all. But I can't drive myself to do it again.
Gareth beams. For the first time, he is his own man. Yet his enthusiasm is not a man.
A friend, yes.
For a moment, his
friends. I find a way to fit. I wasn't just content to lurk in Lucian's shadow. I was his shadow, and so I find out. My goal is to have a goal, if that makes sense at all.
Ifan's spirit stares at you, seemingly through you. There is neither affection nor blame in his expression. He gives no sign of seeing you. Ifan's eyes flicker rapidly from side to side, as if trying to take in an expansive sight.
Glaku Duma. Glaku Duma.
He whispers the phrase over and over, and suddenly you seem to hear the chattering of thousands of elven voices in the distance. Then, before your eyes, his spirit dissolves into the sound, his own voice joining the cacophony that you can hear. That you could hear, for now no sound remains. All is calm.
There's nothing interesting down there. The future lies above, not below.
won't be a stranger.
It gives me almost as much pleasure to speak to you as it does to behold it. I will always be an ally to those that carry swords. To those whose blood is of the heroes, I am at the ready. Consider me to be a gift from Malady. My wood was splintered, but my spirit intact. I feel better.
You look out to the endless beyond. The sun's light plays upon the waves, just as it always did. The sails flutter in the wind, just as they always will. And yet, something is different. You are different. And with a start, you realize where you must go next. You speak the command to the Lady Vengeance, and another chapter begins. War raged on. The ancient empire of lizards became one of the pillars of the new divine alliance. The houses of war and of shadows were particularly useful in the fight against the god king. The empire used the war to expand its territory. With Justinia dead, the dwarven kingdom descended into chaos. But although they did not join the divine alliance, many joined the fight against the void, and did their people great honor in battle and in death. With Lucian gone, the elves reluctantly rejoined the Divine Alliance. Their place in the war on the Void would entirely depend on the integrity of the new Divine. And on the integrity of the elven Godwoken who did not ascend. And here and there, across the world, what was left of the Black Ring fought on. The island of Fort Joy remained a sorcerer's paradise, a place of exile for those whose sorcery threatened to bring in the void. For their well-being, its residents depended entirely on the benevolence of the new Divine. Reaper's Coast struggled on. The farms and the fisheries fought to feed the people against the Voidwoken blight. The black pits took fire. The oil there burns still. Driftwood teetered on the edge of starvation until the night the Voidwoken came from the sea. All were killed. This did, however, put an end to the famine. The nameless isle had vanished. Although only open water remained, by instinct ships would steer clear. None of the captains could articulate why. Sir Gareth thanked the surviving Seekers for their service and gave them their freedom. Disillusioned with ongoing war, he set out alone to find a new purpose. He would never stop seeking. Young Han grew up a warrior and became one of the Alliance's greatest generals. But even he could not win the war. Almira and Mihaili settled in an abandoned homestead. The locals liked and respected Almira. She never wanted for help, and deals always fell to her favor. Outsiders were often suspicious, but no local would speak against her. With a new Divine at the helm, Malady had a powerful ally, but she was in no hurry to call in her favor. After all, it might be the last thing she ever did. The undead priestess Gratiana remained in her sanctuary, happy to wait for the war to pass. She was troubled only by the silence of her goddess. Jehan the demon hunter never stopped hunting for demons. Sahala sought to strengthen the Elven alliance with the new Divine. Her powers of sight proved useful in the ongoing war against the Void, but she could never be sure that the new Divine trusted her. Tova, her mother, was Sahala's most trusted warrior. As the new mother, Sabine found a great forest and founded a new elven homeland. Elves flocked to her and worshipped her as a goddess. Sabine swore never to kill again, but once in a while she'd look at her needle and smile. Losa returned to her music and enjoyed a storied career as the Divine's premier musician. Dark moods would still overtake her, and she would spend long hours walking in the wilds. She always returned with a new song. And then there was you. You, Fane, the eternal Divine. What did you do with your power? What kind of Divine were you as the world battled on? Did you show mercy or strength? Did you sacrifice others as Lucian had done? Did you regret becoming divine? Did you wish you'd surrendered the power that runs through your veins and sealed the veil? Only you know the truth. Only you know if you atone for your sins.